Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is FPL Elmo, and today we're going to be going through my Gameweek 35 team review, my Gameweek 36 transfer thoughts, as well as my Gameweek 36 team selection. But before we get into that, if you are new around here, make sure you subscribe, and if you're enjoying the content, make sure you leave a like. It really helps out the channel. So without wasting any much time, let's get straight into it. So for game week 35 was a really poor game week, I think, for most managers because there were not so many attacking returns from the template team, and I think my team was also in that category. So we had 36 points, which took my overall points to 2,114, giving me a slight red arrow from 533,000 546,000, which is not so bad but not so great at the same time. So in goal, he had Kepa with 3 points. Chelsea just cannot keep a clean sheet to save their lives, so 3 points. Then you had one of the returns, Trent, 7. Then all blanks from Shaw, Trippier, and Estepinan, 2-1 and 0 respectively. Then you had Rashford, 2 points, disappointing display from him once again. Salah scoring from the penalty spot. I don't know, not from the penalty spot, from an assist from Van Dijk, so 10 points for him. Then you had Mitoma with 5 points, getting a very lucky assist. March, who came on, then was subbed off with a hamstring injury, 1 point. Watkins again blanking, 1 point. Haaland with a poor display, 4 points from him. Then he had in the bench Raya 3, Ban 0, really should not play 0, and Greenwood, who came in for a short cameo against Man City with only 1 point. So overall, it was a disappointing game week, and I hope for that game week 36 can be able to bounce back and get that green R. So let's have a look at game week 36. So for game week 35, I did not make any transfers, and so I'm going to have 2 transfers for this week, which I think is perfect since it's a double game week and you want the maximum number of players from those teams which have double game weeks, which I think is Newcastle and Brighton, who is going to be heavily involved in many people's teams. So the first transfer I'm looking at is Watkins, who has been playing very Aston Villa's results have gone downhill, and also his performances have taken a dip. I think the purple patch has now come to an end, and it's now time to move him on, especially since with the upcoming fixtures, Spurs, Liverpool, Brighton, which I think are very difficult fixtures, and so I think it's time to move him on. And now you're going to be going for someone like Isak, who's been performing really well from Newcastle, but we're not so sure who's going to start between Isaac and Wilson. They started both against Arsenal, but luckily their game is the first one on Saturday, so we might get early team news, and that might decide who I'm going to be going for. So we'll have to wait for that to be able to lock in the team. But before that, so Isaac is on the first is my first option ahead of Wilson. That's because of his cheaper, I think with 0.1 million, which might make a difference down the line. But so these fixtures, playing Leeds, have been on free fall, conceding a lot of goals. But they played well against Man City, so we'll have to wait and see. Isaac's fixtures are not that great as well, but I think they're going to have the edge over Aston Villa, and that's why I've gone for Isaac in there. And then the second transfer is going to be March, who has who picked up a hamstring against Everton when he came off the bench at halftime. It's very disappointing. I have to waste a transfer on March, who I think was going to be nailed on for those double games that are coming ahead for Brighton. And the person I'm going to be going for is McAllister. I know it's a boring transfer going from one Brighton player to another Brighton player, especially since now that I'm trying to catch down people in the mini leagues and just the overall league for McAllister. But I might go for someone like Eze, who's a little bit more exciting but with no double game weeks, and that's why I think McAllister is the best option for those double game weeks. Although Brighton have been rotating a lot since they have a lot of games. 4 games in 2 weeks is not easy. It's like they're in the Europa League, so it's going to be hard, and they've been rotating a lot. And McAllister has played back-to-back 90-minute games. So I think maybe his time for resting is coming up. I'm not so sure they're going to rest against Arsenal because of the disappointing display against Everton. Maybe they're going to go a little bit with all their players and bench them for the Newcastle fixture. But we'll have to hope and see what he's going to do, and hope that McAllister is going to start most of the games in their remaining five fixtures. The remaining five fixtures, yeah. So with those transfers in mind, although not yet locked in, we can look at how the team is going to line up. We're going to be having Kepa in goal against Nottingham Forest. Chelsea have not been able to keep a clean sheet in a very, very long time, but since they're home again, I said that against Bournemouth, was it another team? I'm not so sure. So I hope that they're able to keep a clean sheet in this fixture against Nottingham. Although Nottingham did score 4 goals last game week, so I hope that this game week they're going to be score happy and that Chelsea will be able to keep a clean sheet. Then you have Dan Burn and Trippier all having double game weeks this week. They're playing Leeds and Brighton. Leeds are very easy fixture. Hope they can be able to keep a clean sheet in that. Brighton is not going to be that easy, so we'll just hope to wait and see. Although Newcastle haven't kept a clean sheet in a very, very long time as well, and the performances have taken a dip of late. But we'll have to. I hope they can be able to keep a clean sheet and bring up the points. And Trippier can be able to get those attacking returns he was getting after the World Cup. They've dried out a bit, so that he'll be able to come back in this double game week. Then you have Trent against Leicester. We also saw what Fulham did to Leicester during last game week on Monday, was it? So I hope that Trent can be able to exploit that, especially in this midfield role that they have, and they are fighting for top 4 with United and Newcastle. So they'll need to get those points, and I hope that Trent will be vital in that. Then you have Estupinian, who has a double game week as well, playing Arsenal and Newcastle. Luton have not been keeping a lot of clean sheets as well of late, so I hope that they can be able to do that this game week. And then we can move on to the midfielders. We're going to be having Rashford against Wolves. Rashford's form has gone down a little bit. I think he hasn't scored a goal in the past 2 months. So that against Wolves at home, where the 3 points are vital, and him being our leading marksman, I hope that he'll be able to perform against Wolves, who in the past have been the boogie team for United. So I hope that they're able to overcome that in their pursuit for top 4, which has become slightly difficult since Liverpool have put on a late charge. So United must be worried a little bit. So I hope that Rashford can be able to perform. And then we have Salah, who's going to be playing against Leicester. Leicester can be able to score a lot of goals. Leicester concede a lot, but with Leicester fighting for their lives as well, maybe they might be having something in store for Liverpool, which I hope is the case, because we want Liverpool to be getting top 4 ahead of us. Since I'm a United fan, as you all know, so I hope that Salah does not perform really, really well. But on the other hand, in FPL terms, we hope that it's going to perform. Then you have Mitoma and McAllister from Brighton. As I mentioned, their rotation is what's causing people headaches. We don't know who's going to start. Are they going to play both games? But for now, we're going to risk it since the season is coming to an end, and now time to take risks. So you are going to have Mitoma and McAllister there against Arsenal, Newcastle. Both fixtures, I think, are away, so it's going to be very tough for them. So 2 away fixtures, but I hope that they're able to perform in those games and be able to produce some attacking returns. And then you can finish off the video by looking at some of the forwards. We're going to be having Isak, who I'm going to be bringing in for that double game week, and it's going to be my captain as well, although I'm not so sure who's going to play both fixtures, but it's going to be my captain against Leeds and Brighton. Just hope for those attacking returns, especially against Leeds, who concede a lot of goals. So I hope that we're able to perform in that. Then you have Haaland against Everton. Slight concern if he's going to start, since they have a tricky second leg against Real Madrid in the Champions League. So that's one to look out for. Maybe but he hasn't been rested this season when he's fit, so that's another positive. Maybe he'll start. Just have to hope that Pep does not do one of his things that he usually does. Then you have to the bench, you have Raya against West Ham. So it's a 50-50 against Kepa, because Raya is also at home. So I think I might also go for him. And the West Ham are safe. And then maybe they're going to rest players because they have the Conference League semi-finals also to play. So it will be interesting to see who I'm going to be starting there. Then you have Grealish against Everton. I don't think he's going to start because they have the Champions League, as I've mentioned, for Haaland. Then you have Shaw. I don't think I'm going to start over the double game week players in Trent. And since he's playing at centre back, there's really no attacking returns from him. So that's on the bench. And then Greenwood, who doesn't play for Leeds, just a filler there. So that's the team for game week 36. However, to be able to perform better than the game week 35 team. And I think that is a very solid team. And yeah. So guys, I'd like to thank you all guys for watching, and I'll see you all guys later. Bye bye.